Hey everybody out there on YouTube, I hope you guys are having a great day, and it's time once again to look at something that I really enjoy, and that's Turtle WoW. And I'd played WoW for years, 6 months before the Burning Crusade come out, and I did miss those older mechanics and the feeling of progression on that long journey to level 60, but I'd done it and I didn't see a reason to do it again, at least at that time. Friends told me how Turtle WoW was adding new content to the classic model. There were elves and goblins as playable races. They talked about their Iron Man leveling, so I thought that it was a very niche thing. And in hearing about them doing the Iron Man leveling, and there being added races, and the fact that the server was called Turtle WoW, I was like, in my mind, my friends were a bunch of Ninja Turtles running around the Barrens and Plaguelands. But a year ago, that all changed. I left retail and classic due to not hating Shadowlands, but not really liking it, not really being drawn to it. It was okay. And I was very disappointed in the Season of Mastery, and I found myself on private servers. I want to look back at this past year and see how events leading up to the population boom of Turtle WoW and how they were able to maintain that. And as always, if you liked the video, please go ahead, click that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy MMOs and RPGs, Skyrim, Cyberpunk, Fallout 4 mods, gaming news. Starfield's coming soon. There's so many ideas, so many games, so little time. So how did this all start? You know, the idea of going back to that classic vanilla formula had been a topic in the community for years. Popularity of private servers like Nostalgia and Light's Hope showed that there's definitely a market for it. Players asked and showed interest, while Blizzard told us,
"You think you do, but you don't."
But in August of 2019, we showed Blizzard that no, we really do want this. Turtle WoW had launched a year prior to that in June of 2018, and did so with a very small player base. The idea of an authentic Blizzard Classic server coming soon should have, and in many ways did, kill off the popularity of the private Classic servers. By the following summer, people flocked to Blizzard's launch for Classic, and the vanilla private scene became barren, lonely homes for a handful of active players. But by this time, one could strongly argue that the real base of private server players were mainly focused on the Wrath server. Now back to the launch of Classic, Blizzard showed just how popular it was and how much we as players really did want this. And as Classic went on, talks of something new with the Classic model surfaced again, and they did so frequently and very loudly. People were curious how good this version of the game could be if Blizzard maybe fixed the classes and brought them to that more complete state like they were by the end of the Burning Crusade. If quality of life things were added, pet battles, arenas. What if we hadn't went to the Dark Portal and instead went to explore something else for the first expansion? And the idea was exciting to talk about, and Blizzard would later announce an upcoming change called the Season of Mastery. And that brings us to the end of 2021, and Season of Mastery was, there was no passion to it. Blizzard seems to forget the passion their players have, and this is very true with the vanilla players. They're passionate about the style of the game, how it feels and plays. Yet Blizzard just kind of threw some stuff together and said, this is the current season, this is the Season of Mastery. Instead of stepping out and taking a risk that the fans more than likely would have liked or applauded them for trying, say we could have something suddenly happen and we find out that it's linked to the Caverns of Time, maybe a new instance or event that alters something, but that was never Blizzard's plan. And why? Because they already had a set plan. And that makes sense. It's safe, it takes less resources, and it's going to make them money. Instead of pushing something new and exciting in the gaming industry, like the original developers at Blizzard would have, they took the safe route. The formula was already there. Classic, the Burning Crusade, and Wrath of the Lich King. And after Season of Mastery sucked, or, wasn't what we wanted, attention started falling back on the vanilla private scene again. People liked the old things and they were hungry for it, but they also wanted there to be changes and things added. New areas, new mysteries and excitement, so they could post their speculations and thoughts, their theories and ideas on Reddit, so people could elaborate and debate and have great discussions and inevitably get downvoted over and over again. McDoubles and Hamster Wheel started pushing out content on other alternatives to World of Warcraft. Theory crafting on new crazy classes that you could make in Ascension WoW became very popular. Imagine gamers liking World of Warcraft in a world where they can still explore building new classes, finding out what works best and what crazy things they can find and do, all based around class builds. Now, Ascension is crazy, but it's fun. We want fun, and we want fun while we're playing World of Warcraft. And this is where Turtle WoW starts its year-long climb in population. It's right at the beginning of 2022, and they did it to the attention of others, and the factors that made this possible are really a combination of a few things. I think the fact that there was a huge disappointment in Blizzard's Season of Mastery, and at that same time the developers of Turtle WoW announced that they were going to be releasing class changes, and this drew a little bit of attention. In fact, prior to August 8th, 2021, the server averaged 455 players during its peak time, a number that has never been seen again, and from that point on has only risen. And by the end of the holidays of 2021 and the beginning of 2022, Hamster Wheel began releasing his very popular series of videos showcasing the Classic Plus server known as Vanilla Plus, and his videos immediately drew a lot of attention and excitement to this Vanilla Plus idea and brought a lot of players over to Vanilla Plus. But it also drew a lot of attention and an increase in player base over on Turtle WoW, as both servers were Classic Plus style servers. They just each offered something different. Earlier I said, what if we didn't go through the Dark Portal? And that's what exactly Turtle WoW does. It brings you high elves and goblins, new quests and items. They make quests to make up for the lack of key leveled items that before had only been faction specific. The attention to detail and knowing what the fans really want. Blizzard makes it seem oftentimes that we're whiny and we complain about what they give us, but that's BS. If the population of people are mostly buying pink sunglasses, and I decide to put out a line of blue sunglasses, and it doesn't go over well and isn't received by the public, that's my fault for being stupid and not paying attention to trends. If I was really set against pink sunglasses, maybe I should have found a midway point and, I don't know, maybe put out some red sunglasses. At least that's close to what the people want. But back to the main point. During the last week of 2021 and going to the start of 2022, when all the attention was on Vanilla Plus, when the private server scene previously had been really drawn to Wrath of the Lich King, when Classic had released Season of Mastery and it just didn't work, Turtle WoW saw a massive spike in population, doubling their active player base online, and by the start of February, we're seeing 1K players online consistently during peak hours. It was at this time that they dropped a much needed update, letting people know that the class changes were coming, but hey, we're still doing it. It's almost done, but we have things that need fixed. How armor and weapons are going to scale with endgame content, how damage is going to be changed, and how game difficulty is going to need to be balanced due to these changes. The developers became active regularly, both on their site, on the forums, and on Reddit. And over the following months, as Vanilla Plus slowly lost its player base, Turtle WoW maintained their numbers. They drew excitement for the upcoming class changes. By the start of May, their 1K average population had grown even higher, and by the end of August, they saw a peak of over 3,400 people the day that they launched the class changes. And since then, the devs have been active, laying out a solid format so players know what to expect. Yes, the population did dwindle down a little bit after that first, yay, we're super excited for these class changes came, but the team at Turtle announced their next patch about a month later and let players know that it was scheduled to release on December 20th of 2022. They released a trailer and announced in the post, greetings, the world of Azeroth, the ever-changing blue beauty, harbors many mysteries. Prepare to unravel more secrets hidden behind the drapes of Mysteries of Azeroth in the next patch 1.16.4, coming on December 20th, featuring 260 new quests, new zones, and there's so much to be done. That was their post. The patch offered things tied to the old world lore, a returning Kul Tiran fleet that was going to be linked to Terragard and would be settling on the new island known as Anchor's Edge. There's also Kul Tiran embassy put in Stormwind. They told us about the cleansing of Felwood, new venture company quests and lore in Stonetalon. There's shrines and buildings that they expanded in Ashenvale, and just seeing a living world that changes over time and adapts to changes is amazing. That's something Warcraft players want to see. And then just several weeks ago, at the end of January, they announced the next patch, 1.16.6. There is no release date yet, so this time they're adding more class and race combinations. They'll be adding in the Human Hunter and the Troll Warlock. There's possibly going to be a new dungeon. There is going to be a new endgame raid, the Emerald Sanctum. There's new zones, and this is a big one. It's gonna be Gilneas. McDoubles has been talking about it, pushing out new videos once again. I've heard Asmongold refer to Turtle WoW countless times over the past few months when he talks about things fans want Blizzard to do and to try. And just recently, Nixium dropped a shout out to Turtle WoW and how he might be enjoying some kind of Turtle Club as of late, which makes sense. We all know how much he loves his hardcore Lord of the Rings leveling when he plays World of Warcraft. And now he's got it all on one server. All of this, and it just keeps coming. If you thought about it, just do it. You want to experience a reworked World of Warcraft, change classes, new villages, new zones, towns, quests, all mixed throughout the world. It's exciting, and the more I play Turtle WoW, the more I appreciate everything about it. And I'm going to sit here and I'm going to think about what I want to level next. I reached level 60 last August on my mage. And since then, I've played around with a few classes, but it's time to pull that trigger on that. And I want to get back into the hardcore leveling as well. Almost level 30, and I haven't died yet. But, yeah. You know, leveling new classes, that's fresh enough for me. I don't need a new server. So, yeah. I'll see you guys in the next video. Jump over to Turtle WoW. Try it out. You guys have yourself a wonderful, wonderful day.